And you're not meant to see it at that moment. You're not, because it would change. Think about that. And they're saying that too. You could always look at the what ifs. But where does the what ifs actually get you? Where does it actually get you? Because in the end, it's not like you went through whatever you went through and thought in that moment, well, what if this? No, you just did. You just did. Because the fear was a different kind of fear. It was a different thing to fear. And that's why now, because of the changes that you've been going through and the growth that you've been, in their words, dealing with, because that's what it feels like, you have simply learned how to adapt to the changes that are coming within your life. And seeing what happens when you do that. That's the best part. You're seeing the change in not only yourself, but you're starting to see it around you. And that's a huge, huge success and huge step forward from where you've been. It really has. It makes a huge difference in everything for you. I do have one of those ice rollers. I need to start doing that because it's definitely beneficial. And they always say to go up. You can only go up from here. And you can. I mean, you could definitely go down. But the point of that phrase is to say, take it as enough is enough. I've reached the bottom of how far I'm willing to go. That's the key phrase there. And now I'm ready to move up. And that's exactly what you're meant to do. There's nothing at all wrong with that. It's actually a really good thing. It actually shows some serious growth in you as a person, as your spirituality. I definitely feel there's a bigger connection with higher power and higher spirit that you've grown over these years of all of this going on. You had your moments of really, really clinging to it, and then you had moments of kind of just stepping, not away, but just back a little bit and kind of not focusing on it when it comes to your spirituality. It's always there, but you never really had as much effort into it until that stuff started happening from 2019 on. You definitely had a deeper connection when it came to that, for sure. They're like, yes. I gotta wash that. And that. I find it interesting because it's like a string being pulled back and forth. Sometimes there's this moment of serenity, this moment of, this feels so good, everything's going to be great. Hyaluronic acid, aloe vera, micellar, cleansing water. I'm going to use this now because I put the oil on, and oil is absolutely amazing for your hair, for your organs, for everything pretty much, as long as it's in moderation. However, it's so like I rubbed in what I could. There's no more to rub in. So now the excess is just going to be sitting on my face, and I can't have that because then it gets everywhere. So we're going to top it off with the cleanser to get the excess oil, because the oil that I rubbed in is already in my skin. Don't be so hard on yourself. That made me emotional. They're saying you're too hard on yourself. You're way too hard on yourself. And they just keep saying it. You're way too hard on yourself. It's definitely one of the things that you have to let go of the reins of a little bit. Trust that the decisions that you're making are the right ones, and that when, yes, we all, make dumb decisions. However, you fear so much of the unknown and what you're going to do or what's going to happen, but think about every single time you were put in that situation, and how many of those times you made a choice and you had nothing to fear. You were okay. Think about that. You're here now in this new version of yourself. So you made it. You made it far. And that's a huge accomplishment. And that's where they're saying, this is where you need to put credit where credit is due. And stop being so down on yourself because you made this whole spiel up in your head of all these things that you're going to do every day and you didn't fully stick to it. Okay. No big deal. No big deal. You know why? Just by you thinking about not doing it, you bothered yourself with it. And there's absolutely no reason for that, because the moves you're making are not the wrong ones. They're not. You got it in the bag. That's what I'm hearing. This is not, you're not on that path anymore of having to survive, of having to figure things out in a sense of how you were in survival mode. It's different this time. You're still going to have decisions. You're still going to have plans. You're still going to have things you're going to have to work out or figure out or whatnot. But it's the way that it's going to affect you, and then in turn of that, the way it's going to affect your surroundings and the people and things around you. And that is where the focusing on, when you have that feeling of, I'm amazing, I love life, it's because you're supposed to. You're supposed to. And you're probably like, are you for real right now? I'm dead for real right now. That's what they're saying. There comes a point in time in life where you either wave the white flag in defeat and surrender, or you literally come up from the ashes. This is how they're showing it to me. Dust yourself off and say,